What's going on, guys? Let me know how that audio is. Sound is good. Perfect, perfect. If it needs to be louder, just let me know. I do want to give a shout out at the beginning of the stream to Gerald Vanderden, Kevin Terry, ECAS X, Tragic Trucker, and Cobra 0289. They were the most recent members to the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing. Really appreciate that. So tonight's going to be a chill stream, guys. I'm just going to hang around, do some exploring in the Exo Mech. The other day, I was able to, thanks to my brother, get the living ship quest to kick off for me. I haven't been able to do that. And so I was never able to get the ship until recently. So I don't know if they fixed something with this update or if it was just something that I was doing wrong. But ultimately, I went on a very long journey and got the living ship. And so I'll probably be cruising around in that thing as well and trying to figure out how to pick up upgrades for that. So all I have in there right now is what I already, what it already came with. So. When I was playing the other day as well, I did some upgrades to the Exocraft and to the Minotaur, and I got some pretty good jump pack upgrades with this bad boy. So this thing's pretty sick. I don't know if there's any more that I need to do. I think what do we got here? So that's the thruster system. Well, I guess there's more thruster upgrades I could potentially get as well. But my exploring predominantly is going to be done with this guy today. So. Let's see here. Jabroni says the Venom 2 trailer's coming out today, maybe at 12 a.m. I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Some people had some criticisms about the first one, but I didn't think it was really bad. So. I kind of was into it. Yeah. Oh man, I love this thing. So freaking cool. I even like the procedural name of it, like the Pained Artalamus. It's pretty sick. .com says, I've got the glyphs and the method to roll them all for the S-Class mods for Living Ship. Need like 10,000 nanites to max it out, though. Good thing I have like 20,000 nanites. So, that's pretty cool. I do like that the upgrades are different than like your standard ship. So that basically like gives me stuff to do, right? Like I got new things to work on, which is pretty sick. So, but DK, how does one go about getting said upgrades for the living ship? By the way, guys, I took a flight in this thing in VR. Friggin' rocked. It was awesome. I love the cockpit design. Maybe you get it inside the space anomaly, like you can do like those like learn those tech trees, perhaps. If I had to guess. Jabroni says, I remember a ship that looks like the living ships on Google, but I lost it a long time ago. Was it like concept art for like No Man's Sky or just something that you had come across? Like fan art or something like that? Hey, Zach, what's your Xbox name? Zach, man?
It's Baba Yaga now.
Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
Like Babayaga?
You already know. Boogeyman, dude.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's Baba Yaga and then it's like 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Oh, it's Baba Yaga 1212?
Yeah, it's 3 sets of 1 2.
1 2 1 2 1 2?
Yeah. I was trying to just do 1 2 1 2, but somehow that name was taken. So,
John Wick, bro.
I guess. Fucking Keanu on the other end over there.
I got so distracted by that exotic for like a split second. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Bro, they never just like hit on the first
Bro,
go
I
round like that.
Color though. Is that like a teal?
I like those vertical rockets on it. Yeah, I don't know.
Like that dildo sticking
I don't know how that's. Quit walking away from me. Never thought I'd say that. No Man's Sky NPCs walking around. So DK, I put that. That's my brother's username on Xbox. BabaYaga121212. He recently started playing No Man's Sky all over again, and is really lost. And I know that you play on Xbox, so feel free to add him. He was playing last night, and if you have any resources to kind of give him a good jump start, he's down. So I figured I'd go ahead and throw that in there.
Not that lost, bro.
Huh?
Not that lost.
Bro, you're lost.
I mean, I'm just trying to...
He's really not that lost.
I'm just trying to get some Quicksilver, dog. I'm trying to get that Void Egg quest going.
Yeah, he's trying to get some Quicksilver to get the Void Egg. Ah, that's weak sauce. I'm not even... Pff.
I like the name, though. Son of Souls.
Huh?
The ship name was Son of Souls.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck does that mean?
That's epic. Now, it's a large ship flying over the landscape of a planet. It wasn't made by Hello Games. Ah, gotcha. Vidlink posted in the diner for the living ship upgrades, Panda. Dude, appreciate that, DK. That's awesome. Will do, Panda. I'll get him in the FDI and set up. That's what I'm talking about.
Word.
So do you buy tech here? Obviously, I can't watch that video right now. Okay, so those are all specific for regular. Oh man, that thing is so damn cool. Zach, look at that. Bro, that's so sick. You know what?
It's sitting there like moving and pulsing.
I know.
It gives me chills. And it's a fun shit.
I feel like I gotta change my head now, though. To like some weird alien species.
For that ship, Gek. It's probably the only way to go in there. Or Traveler, yeah. Oof. I almost put that on yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one off.
I kind of like that one.
Oof.
I don't know. He looks like he's one with the living ship.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the longer the tentacles are, the more OG he is, and they're just like hella OG.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like his tentacles are like he's been through shit.
Yeah.
Like
Those are seasoned tentacles.
yeah, and he got them colored tips on him.
Yeah.
That's like, bro, that's like prison teardrops like under your eye.
Those are those gang markings.
Yeah, this guy's been through the shit.
He's seen some things.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna roll with this one. You know, this is my first time ever playing as a species in this game other than the anomaly. Not even lying. It feels so weird. It feels weird to have a face. Alright, let's jump in this thing. We got the Frowny Game Cat says, hello everyone. What is going on, Frowny? Thank you for stopping by. If anything, it looks like it could work as a freighter. .com says, if you want to do it now, I'll give you the glyphs. You find the upgrades for free and spend the nanites to make the S-Class.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Throw those portal coordinates in the chat. Hell yeah. Jabroni says, I did as a 3D model for Exocraft before the update in No Man's Sky. Ah, gotcha. Hey, Jabroni, it's been a long time since I streamed, except for the other day. Your username used to be Tariq Starks, right? Let me know if I got that right. There's a specific reason I'm asking. But where Anya be at, though? Darcy blows. Nope. No. Maybe this way. Ah, there it is. So I can get to that portal. So what do you use to fill the...
Click on it.
Oh, I don't even know what my pulse drive is anymore. That's crazy.
It's gonna be the first one.
Okay, cool. The reason I'm asking, Tariq, is because I was going to see if you had any new anime that you'd recommend. You linked me up with some pretty good stuff that I checked out that I really enjoyed. So I watched all of Baki, all of Devilman Crybaby, the first season of One Punch Man, all of My Hero Academia. I've been getting all caught up on that stuff. Frowny Cat says, this game is amazing in VR. Dude, it legit is, though. I mean, realistically, if you think about it, it might be one of the biggest VR games in existence, just for the simple fact that it's the entire No Man's Sky experience, unfiltered, uncompromised, but in VR. So it's not a separate mode, it's not a separate port, it's not like a mini game. It's like the OG experience. Oh man, I love that damn thing. Oh my goodness.
I don't like how fast you drop with the jump boots.
Do it.
I don't like how fast you drop with the jump boots. It fucking annoys the shit.
You don't like that?
No.
So like when I'm going up a pretty steep surface, instead of like how it normally goes up, he actually like pushes up on the rock,
Yeah.
and it gets up mountains and stuff pretty quick. That's like the only thing that keeps it for me. All right. It's definitely the biggest on PSVR. Oh, dude, easily. You know, to be fair, even though PSVR is like not the most like high fidelity VR experience, it is the most popular in the world. Like there's more people that play PSVR than anything, like anywhere else. Like more people play it than Oculus and Vive and Index and all that. I mean, obviously because it's a much lower price point, so it's more accessible for more people. But the reason why VR never really took off is because you couldn't get it in enough people's hands to really make it take off. I think PSVR has done a great job at that. I hate having to load this up every time I interact with this, man. Who texted me?
That's me.
Oh, that was you? Okay. Oh, I mean, she's going to tell me every time it's recharged. I think this one is still being worked on, but go see Children of Ether. Okay. Oh, yeah, you have to see the trailer for Mighty Grand Python, or Pitten. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Oh, I watched Kengan Ashura as well. That one was really good. Everyone likes Kengan Ashura, but for whatever reason, I actually liked Baki way more. All right. DK, thank you for keeping it simple and not naming it anything crazy. So we got Bird. Hey, by hex, do you mean this symbol here? I'm just going to like leave it there so you can confirm, DK. The Mighty Grand Python. Trivial Pursuit piece. I don't get it. I still don't know. You're assuming I'm smarter than I am, DK. Am I on the right piece? How many spaces do I need to move? I don't know what a hex is. Brucella says that one. Ah, okay. Perfect. Whale. I know what that is. Sun spiral, sun. That's a sun, bro. Bird, sun, eclipse. When there, go to the station. Aight. Aaron Pollard says, do you have the game audio muted on purpose? No, it shouldn't be muted at all. I can hear it playing back in OBS. So let me see if I can maybe turn it up some more. Let me know if that's better. But to answer your question, no, it should not be muted at all. Good right there. Perfect. Yeah, thank you guys for helping me out. Like, literally, I haven't streamed in like 2 months, and then like twice. Like this week. So. Good night, sweet prince. Fully upgraded my... Oh, nice. Oh, I've got no more launch fuel. Does this thing take like regular launch fuel? Fuck, it takes that much oxygen? From station, exit to create a save, then reload. Longer loaded, leave the station and pulse in any direction, and you'll get an event that interrupts you within 20 to 40 seconds. I think I get it. Alright, from station, exit to create a save, then reload. What's going on, AshFacta? Leave the station, pulse in any direction, 20 to 40 seconds. Got it. The mighty Grand Python is like the Iron Giant in Rio and Kaiju battles, made by the line best animated studio ever. Gotcha. Alright, reload the save. Thank you, dude. I finally got one. It took me forever to get it, bro. I was like, why can't I get it? It's like I had the egg. It would tell me to go to a system and that I had to find a certain planet on that system. But I would hit all of the planets in the system and it would never indicate like the next part of the mission. And so I kept trying and warping and trying and warping. And then eventually my brother was like, dude, just try going through a portal. And for some reason, like when I went through a portal and then came back through, it just worked. It let me do it. It just, I don't know. I don't know if going through the portal like did something to like, you know, reverse the effects of the glitch or what. It's kind of crazy that it even happened in the first place. If the letters are red, then the egg will appear. Drop out a pulse, shoot it to claim it, turn around, and go back to the station. Another event usually appears. Save, reload, rinse, repeat. Did you see the new space events yet? No. I have not. If the letters are red, then an egg will appear. Drop out of pulse, shoot it to claim it. Go back to the station. Another event usually appears. Okay. All right, so I think I understand what you're saying there. That's cool. Crafted inode. Yeah, is this that random egg?
Yeah, see, it's like ready to get hashed already.
So I guess when you do it but see, I think that glitched out and like added it to my inventory when I reloaded my save that time. But yeah, I guess once you do it the one time, every time you get an egg, it's like ready to, you just go through the portal and, you know, like a whole fleet of these things. Maybe I can just give it to someone. I don't need it. I'm gonna donate an egg. All right, so what do I do here?
It's the organ chamber.
Do what? Oh, it's in the organ. Oh, it goes in the organ chamber. Gotcha. I don't know.
No, I just didn't know what that was.
DK, what did I pick up and how does it work? Make room in your ship, bro. Okay. I will do that.
Check your exosuit. Probably went to your exosuit.
Whoa. Damn, another one? What did you say?
You probably went into your exosuit because you didn't have it anymore.
Ah. No, but it should have gone into the ship inventory, I would imagine.
Yeah, but you didn't have any when you first picked it up.
Oh, makes sense.
So that A-class one you picked up is probably an exosuit.
Or it just might be fucking gone. Potentially.
Yeah, there is top right.
Ah.
So I'm guessing the red text is S-class.
Huh?
When he was talking about the red text, he probably meant...
Like it would be like an S-class one?
Yeah, red means S-class.
The cracking eggs are no good. It's a glitch. I had the same thing happen to me. Just destroy it. Yeah, it was weird, right? It just popped up in my inventory, and then I just suddenly had 2 eggs. It's not craftable. It's an actual mod, just like you buy from the vendors. Double up on whatever you want between organ chamber and main, just like other ships. The fuel for pulsing is silver or gold. I don't get it. Am I just dumb? Hey, DK, can you add inventory slots to this as well? Like, can it have 48 slots like your other ships? Pulsing heart. Yeah, because I like really want these upgrades to like line up. Gooey vessel. I mean, for now, I'll just stick them down here because you can move them, right? Yeah.
Can you move the other ones into the organ chamber?
Actually, that's a good point. I don't see why not. Ooh, look at you, bro.
I'll have to move that one. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Oh. Huh?
That C-class module is a 20% damage boost.
And that's a C class?
Yeah.
Oh, little stubby wubby. I love the stubby tail ships for some reason. They're kind of cool. Like little parakeets. Alright, let me reload this. The fuel for pulsing is silver or gold? I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Well, that's a bummer. Because if it had 48 slots, now we're talking. I like how I like name the stream like Exo Mech Monday.
Yeah.
Like all I'm doing is flying the living ship. Like false advertising ass. Not good enough.
You're gonna be so far away from the space station.
Huh?
You're gonna be so far away from the space station.
I am, and like I might not have the kind of fuel I need. I'm being dumb. Scream suppressor node. That just sounds scary.
Sounds intense.
Like it states like what it does. It suppresses screams, which is just super creepy.
It's like serial killer type shit.
Yeah, I know. You can turn every mod you find into an S-class with nanites and mouse over it to see. Say what? Evolve. Bro, you can evolve it.
Boom. That's dope.
DK, you have enhanced my life in so many ways. This night. This Monday night.
Echo Mech Monday.
Evolve. Evolve again. Evolve once more. I like it. I like this. Zach, I like this.
That's dope. They should have done that with every fucking thing.
I knew I was going to run it. You knew I was going to run out of pulse fuel. Now I'm stuck. I don't even know which one's the pulse drive.
It's that one, the pulsing heart. Pulsing.
Oh, pulse. Don't hate on me, dog. Bro, that gave me nothing.
You might be able to make it. Horse givers just reload safe.
Mm-hmm. I might be able to buy some gold and silver from the space station. Let's see what these guys got.
If you had that plasma shot in
Boy wobbling. There we go. Wobbledy, wobbledy, wobbledy. Dude, this thing doesn't have like any real serious upgrades, and it was kind of eaten. Honestly. I can't wait to get this thing all loaded up. I love that you can just evolve it. Can you take the fight on the world? I don't know, honestly. I've never been able to successfully pull that off. I heard it was a thing. Bro, these guys right here talking about how long my tentacles is.
They're like, avoid him.
They're like, make way.
He a thug.
Yeah. No silver. No gold. That's the coolest looking Viking I've seen. Oh, I almost wasn't even paying attention there.
Oh.
Bruh, did it change?
Yeah. What the fuck? There you go. Silver.
There it is. I'm gonna buy all the silver. Thank you, friend. Glad you had that. Okay. What? Bro, the silver barely had any impact. Oh. Reload the save. You should be able to buy gold and silver from other ships. I was able to figure that one out on my own, DK.
Just break it.
No, it's empty.
Got you.
For real, though. Yeah, have one with you, bro.
Yeah, I'll make one. Keep it on her.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably try and come down. Maybe.
She will definitely try and come down.
She wants to go to bed, but...
So I'm curious, how many of you guys actually have the living ships as well? So is that like, am I like way behind the curve? Does everybody have these already? I'm like totally like thinking I'm flexing right now, but really like everyone in the Euclid galaxy like has one of these. Now let me ask you guys this question. Not to bring up any kind of like a heated discussion or anything, but I'm curious. How many of you guys thought this was a good update? Thought that the living ships and the Exo Mechs were something you were looking forward to seeing? The reason I ask is because I did not really care all that much about living ships. I did not care all that much about Exo Mech. I judged it early on, did not get that excited by it, and then I decided that I would give it a try. And the living ships, so here's the thing. The living ships, to me, they add a lot of gameplay value. What I mean by that is there's new technology, right? You don't obtain tech the way that you do other ships. All the other ships are basically the same. With these, you're not obtaining tech in the same way, right? As you can see, I'm having to go through a very different routine. You can evolve the tech, so it doesn't matter if you pick up a C class, a B class, an A class. If you have the nanites, you can just evolve the technology, which is a beautiful system. it looks different, right? There's more animation behind it. It's a totally different cockpit. The quest that you go on can be pretty frustrating, but it's really, really fun, right? And you know, guys, anybody that's been following this channel for a while knows how long I've been talking about derelict freighters in No Man's Sky, and how when you're traveling through space, you need more things to see. You need more things to encounter. There's not a lot of reasons to be in space. And this is the first time I'm encountering a derelict freighter, and this is exactly what I wanted. This is what I wanted to see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of speechless right now, but like, this is what I meant. Like, these are the kind of encounters that I'm talking about. Like running into these different life forms in space, running into like derelict freighters. You know, this is my first time running into this. The other day when I was playing, I ran into like this space city, and when I interacted with it, it said that it had a population of like 900 and something thousand people. Or 900 million people, and like, you know, a percentage of them had died during something or other, you know. Like, it gives me reasons to want to be in space. This game previously was all about going through space just to get to another planet to explore, but this actually drives me to want to experience space. So this is really, really cool. I'm super into this. I know that it's kind of a weird moment to stop at. But this I'm down for this. I'm about what this is right now. Can I interact with this? Can I do anything with this? I wonder. Zach, have you come across a derelict freighter yet?
No.
But that's exactly the sort of thing that like I've been wanting. Just things to see, you know what I mean? Like things to come across. That's just cool, man. Honestly. Hey, do I have 12 down there now? Did I size the screen correctly?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, DK, I posted some of that Exo Mech tech in the FDI, and as it turns out,
Boundaries.
my screen wasn't formatted correctly on my TV, and it was just enough that it didn't show one of the symbols. So there's only 11 symbols, so I've got to redo the whole thing. But I might need to delete that post. Luckily, it's Delingle, which I think there's already appropriate addresses to, so I may not need to. I'm pretty sure everyone in the FDI knows what Delingle is. I feel like they revamped the mechanics of these space battles, Zach.
They need to make a lock-on button.
Yeah, having a lock-on would be good. Some weapons do have like a lock-on mechanism, though.
It's more of like an assist, though.
But that's why I like the positron ejecta. Like, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to be kind of close and pull the trigger.
This dude is so worried.
What the fuck? Excuse my language. Yeah, I'm gonna evolve it. Dude, I love evolving the tech. That is like literally the coolest thing ever. Bruh. Is this like a my version drink or like a your version drink?
Mine. It's not gonna be too bad. It's a little over what you usually do.
Okay. Whoa. Bro, this scream suppressor joint is pretty gnar. Just the name of it, you know what I mean?
Oof.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm... that's... You got me twisted up, bro. Dude, this is scary how fast this is blowing through my nanites. I feel like an NBA player right now, bro. I'm just like blowing cash. Didn't even go to college.
Yeah, no one's got time to sit there and reload saves just to get S classes.
I know, I'm just going to evolve them all, dude. I mean, what else am I going to spend my nanites on? Like, all my ships have everything. All my multi-tool has everything. I don't have anything to spend it on. But making this shit lit AF. Let's see. I definitely missed out on the chat. So, let's check this out. Yeah, kitted out all of my saves. I got one, but I cheated. Loved both, expected neither. They're nice. They're a nice change of pace. Yeah, Bruce Solo, they are. Like I said, I wasn't that into the idea of it, but then once I started kind of messing around with it, I was like, because I was thinking in my head, like, hey, you know, there's so many things that, like, Hello Games can improve on, right? Like, they could make it to where you could steer and pulse drive. I don't know why that's not a thing. You know, they could enhance the warp animation so that it doesn't kind of take away your sense of immersion, right? There's a lot of bugs that, like, still need to be worked on. So it's kind of, like, frustrating in a degree, right? Like, they could be doing all these other things, but they're just adding, like, what in my mind was, like, cosmetic stuff. But there's actually intrinsic value, right? There's intrinsic value to the living ships. One, they look great. Okay. One of the major drawbacks about the exotics from before was that even though they all look slightly different, all the cockpits were the same. Well, this ship is a completely different cockpit, right? It's like this fleshy, crazy cockpit. But they didn't just stop with the cosmetic changes. They added like a whole storyline to go along with it, and quite a long quest. Like, it is not a quick quest. Now, does it suck that they've got like these time walls? Kinda, right? But it's extremely rewarding because now not only are you just getting this, you know, aesthetically cool ship, it's not just like a cosmetic thing. Now you've gone through the storyline, you've got this ship, there's a unique way to obtain the technology, and you can evolve the technology, which I didn't even know about, you know? So I'm just learning about that tonight. I mean, that's awesome. And then you have like the Exo Mech, right? Now, they didn't add a storyline with the Exo Mech, but what they did was they changed the gameplay. Your other exocraft can take damage from hazardous planets, albeit much slower than if you were not in the exocraft. But the Minotaur, you receive no damage at all on extremely hazardous planets. So that means that you can use that to explore large caves underwater and above water, mine certain materials on really crappy planets that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do, explore really crappy planets that would take up an absolutely massive amount of resources to be able to sustain yourself on that planet for any period of time. So it gives much more enjoyment to exploring, right? So even though I wasn't initially that excited for these features, actually taking part and participating in the acquisition of them and experiencing them, I realized that, hey, these were actually really well thought out and that there's a value in these. And my brother's sitting right here, and he'll be the first one to tell you, like, I literally was talking shit when I heard that they were doing, like, mechs until I got in it. And then I was like, yo, this is sick. So it's just one of those things. AshFacta says, for me, not real excited. They look cool. I'd like another Visions-like update. I just like finding new planets. Yeah, Visions was cool, but actually the thing that I think did the most in terms of planets, in my opinion, was actually the Abyss. It had great lore, and the way that it did the oceans was really, I think that was like one of the biggest terrain changes in a long time. That, now if you look at like vanilla No Man's Sky to where we are now, the terrain looks vastly different, but it took several updates to get there. Abyss was like the most sweeping terrain change in a single update since the game launched. Abyss is one of my favorite updates so far, that and Pathfinder. But Visions was really cool, and it added some cool features and color aesthetics. So I'll back you up on that one. Living Ships was a nice change, especially with the new space events and Stargates. So I don't know about the Stargates or the space events, so I'm going to have to check that out. So a great comment there. Tariq.com says, turn around after the first one, Panda, second one will appear. I know if you shoot the cargo pod, you get stuff. I don't think you can explore it. Okay. Oh, if you shoot the cargo pod on those crashed freighters, you mean, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, I was not aware of that. All right. Let's see here. We got one of our wishes granted, bro. Dude, the derelict freighter, that's sick. That's really cool. We didn't get space whales, which I wasn't crazy about the idea of that to begin with, but seeing that giant sort of like octopus or whatever, squid or jellyfish rather, that was pretty cool. Like during the living ship mission where you have to get the living water, that was a really cool part of that. Oh man, bro. God. Guys, before this stream is over, you might catch me having fever sweats and talking in tongues, man. You're also fighting with the pig's maneuverability with no upgrades. Spewing vents are my favorite in Living Ship, especially when in an organ chamber. Oh yeah, the woes vary based on location. Gimme. Gracias. I don't remember the difference, frankly. Just try each weapon and main, and then... Wait. Audio went out. What happened? What happened? Buffering. Buffering. Cool. If they add in more variation of dead freighters that we can explore, like spacewalking, it would be amazing. You know, I wouldn't put it past Hello Games to get there eventually. Sorry for the speeds, guys. We have gigabit internet and I'm hardwired, but as you know, many people, pretty much the entire country, is on quarantine. So that means everyone's at home, Netflix and chilling, making babies, stream it hardcore. So I think we're seeing the result of that. But yeah, Tariq. I mean, more variations of freighters for sure. Derelict freighters. The fact that they even have them means that they listen to the community. That literally the word derelict was a phrase that I specifically used many times for like a year. So they were definitely out there listening to us, not necessarily like this channel, but just like the people in general. That the things that they were mentioning. Yeah, that's awesome. But spacewalking, I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there eventually. This is a very complex game to program, right? It uses more procedural generation than like anything. If you look at Elite Dangerous, people universally like pretty much love that game. That game you cannot get out of your ship, other than in an SRV, but you can't explore on foot. You can't do any of the things that you can do in No Man's Sky. So the game already is a technical achievement and marvel. And I think that they'll get there. We just got to keep bringing it up. We got to keep talking about it on streams. We got to keep asking for it. What do we got? Mech makes getting storm crystals so much easier, especially on permadeath. That's a really good point. Yeah, you can just get storm crystals like mad easy, right? I do want to see like more weaponization of the mech, and I hope that we get some of that as kind of like a prelude to maybe some new ground combat mechanics for planet-side enemies. I think would be really cool. Tariq says, I need every plant and fauna in the game. Could be any color in the rainbow. It's a first making alien planets and wildlife. If you take a whale 3D model and use worm-generated parts, you can make a very alien-looking sky whale. Here's the thing. This is the argument that I've been making for a long time about variety, right? In our let's just take our solar system for example. There's one planet with life. It's this one. We live on it. Mercury, dead as shit. Venus, dead as shit. Mars, dead as shit. They're all dead. Everything's dead. There's nothing on anything. Just this one. Right? And then you go outside of this one and you might encounter hundreds, thousands of solar systems they're all dead. There ain't shit. And then there's that odd one in the Goldilocks zone that potentially might have something, right? So when you're talking about variation occurs in a number of things in which other things have rarity, right? So if you remember old versions of No Man's Sky, okay, and I know I'm kind of like rambling on here, but if you remember like the original version, right? Like I'm talking the first week it was out type shit, okay? You could explore, you could warp jump 50, 60 times and maybe come across 2-3 planets that have like living creatures on them. It was actually, you could actually run out of resources on a planet, become stranded on a planet, and would have to either try to reload a save that you had previously or start completely over because you couldn't leave the planet, right? There were that many just dead planets. So it meant that when you came across a planet that had life in it, it was that much more exciting, right? If you remember when people were going to the Galactic Hub, what made that journey so awesome is that people would come across Diplos, which were very, very rare and hardly anyone had ever seen them, and just different things like that. I think that by making life more rare, it will also make making variety more easy, if that makes sense. Do you follow what I'm saying, Tariq? Pulsing heart. All right, so I got. Where is this at? DK, are you still beholden to the rule of 3 when it comes to S-class technology with the living ships? Yep. And then I think Bruce was telling me to ditch that egg. So I got my ship. I'll ditch the egg. Thank you for the advice, Bruce. Internals evolved. Alright, so now I should have some pretty beastly pulse drive stuff. Alright, I'm going to reload the save one more time, and then I'm going to do some exploring. .com says yes. Ah, that's why you put 3 in cargo, then double up in main for more.
Maybe on the weapons.
For sure on the weapons.
And like shield. But
yeah, and the shield.
Because you're not going to use this for war.
Why wouldn't I? I think that this thing has... I don't know if these numbers reflect correctly.
Or, I mean, like hyperdrive, you know? I mean, you might do it once, so you don't really need to upgrade it.
If this thing has better hyperdrive than my other exotic that I have, I will use this ship a lot.
Doesn't your other one have like 1100 hyperdrive range?
Something like that. No, it's 1700 or something.
Yeah.
And like it hardly burns any warp fuel. Like I can jump 30 fucking times before it even makes like a dent in my thing. That's my explorer ship. Real talk. That's really what I explore with. Dude, we got Big Pidge in the chat. What is going on, Big Pidge? Thank you for coming back by, dude. .com says, I double shield, hyper, spewing vents, and pulsing heart. You know, if I got the storage space for it, I'll do it. I'll play around with it. What I don't want to do is like waste precious cargo. You know what I mean? Guys, let me know if the performance and everything is still going okay, audio-wise and everything else. I know that there's going to be some slight buffering stuff with the gameplay portion of it, just because I'm doing it in an unusual way. So for those that don't know, because I tried using Elgato, and my computer that I have is not really geared towards something like that right now. So I haven't used it. So what I do is I actually do remote play, and then I use OBS to capture the remote play screen. So I'm essentially streaming the game to my computer. So obviously there will be some buffering that kind of coincides with that. Dude, Big Pidge is getting some love in the chat. That is what's up, man. By the way, I do want to give a big shout out to Richard Huntington, who I've been following for a long time and watching their streams for a long time. I never like ask for donations or beg for donations or anything like that in my streams. I have a link for it. And, you know, obviously everybody's on quarantine. I don't know what it's like in other places around the world, specifically in terms of statistics. But I know, like, in the United States, there's like 10 to 16 million people out of work right now. You know? And so I just want to give him a big shout out, because when I ended my stream the other night, I wasn't really paying attention. But he donated like $25, you know? Just him. And I thought that was really cool. And I wasn't expecting that. So big shout out to Richard Huntington for supporting a lowly little channel like mine. And yeah, he didn't need to do that, especially with what's going on in the world right now. That I would never expect anybody to do that. So that was just really, really cool. So big shout out to Richard Huntington. Keep streaming, man. I love your content. I've been following you for years, and you're out there doing your thing. If you guys do not follow Richard Huntington, please check him out on YouTube. He's been streaming No Man's Sky since like a basically launch. It's worth checking out. He's a really chill streamer, right? So if you kind of like this whole like laid back chill vibe where like you just come like watch me play a game terribly and not learn anything, you'll definitely like Richard Huntington as well, right? Except he knows the game a lot better than I do. But yeah, this is like whatever Sword's channel is, like this is anti that. Like Sword played the game for like 6 months, like knew how to play. Like I played the game for like 6 years. I'm still shit. So the fact that you guys even come hang out, it's just its own reward. You heading to bed? Love you, bro. Singularity core. Ah, hyperdrive. Okay. Bloody organ. A specialist bait for carnivores using the analysis visor to discover the bait preference of specific creatures, created a nutrient processor from mordite and assorted creature flesh. Oh. Bloody organ is what I'm about to have after the way my brother just made this fucking drink. Jesus. Yeah. Beef up that hyperdrive range. That's what I'm talking about right there. Dang, 551 just off of one mod? Sickness. Okay. That's good for now, though. I'm going to go ahead and park this little guy, and we're going to go on an adventure. In normal mode, you shouldn't need to use the shop storage for much. True. It's like permadeath. You could die just by like sneezing outside too hard. But like in normal mode, you're like invincible. But yeah. Tariq says, "Oh, if a get calls me out in space, I want him. I want him saying, hey, hey." Star Wars reference. Big Pitch says, "Hi everyone, stream looks and sounds fine. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm a noob at this again, so thank you for that." At some point I want to get like a green screen that I can put up and like, you know, but whatever. You guys are looking at a French door. It's all good. Who cares? DK with the spelling errors. No worries, dude. I seen a guy donated $1,000 in a live stream from Hosbin Hotel. What? if somebody donated $1,000 to me, I would give it back. I would give it back. Or like I would buy somebody something with it. I'd buy like 100 people No Man's Sky or something. You know? Big Pitch says, how are you and the family, Panda? We are great. We're doing very, very good. Thank you for asking. DK says, I got my hyper nearly up to 20. What? Holy snap, dude. That's gnarly. Are you serious? That might end up being like my main warp ship then. Speaking of how the family's doing, I don't know if it'll focus in, but this is me with the kiddo yesterday. Her first Easter. She's 3 months old. Yeah, we're doing awesome. Being a dad is hard, but extremely rewarding. It consumes most of my time, and I've never been so happy to be so busy. It can be very frustrating. They can't communicate, right? Like we can. You know, she hasn't learned to talk and all that stuff. She's only 3 months old. So you have to sort of, it's a process of elimination, right? You start with one thing and you go down the list to make sure that they're okay. And sometimes you can't solve it. Sometimes they're just crying, they're not running a fever, their diaper's clean, they've eaten. You can't figure out what's going on, and they're just uncomfortable. Maybe they got gas. You don't know what it is. And as a parent, you just feel helpless sometimes. But, you know, it's really nice because whenever we had the baby, I took like almost 6 weeks of work off. My company provided that, paid. And I still have 6 weeks left and that I can take before she turns 1. And then I went back to work for a couple of months, did really well, because I work on 100% commission. I design custom home theater systems for businesses. I do more than that. Lighting, shades, control, automation, networking, full service, right? But I design custom commercial and residential stuff. And I was doing well while I was on paternity leave because I had projects that were still going out that I was managing while I was at home with the baby. And I was also cutting other people in on a percentage of my commission to manage those projects if they were bigger than I wanted to deal with at the time. And on top of that, when I came back, I hit some pretty good projects right away. And then with this quarantine thing, you know, for the last month and you know, foreseeable future, I've been working from home. The company switched us away from 100% commission to they're paying us a guaranteed salary of based on our 10 weeks of commission performance, which I did really well. So I'm getting paid a 10-week average of what I was earning during normal business times to just work from home and keep up with clients and all that stuff. So I have been blessed and fortunate that I have been able to spend an absolute insane amount of time with my child in the first 3 months of her life. It's been a blessing, to say the least. I wish every parent could be so lucky to do that. I know that in our society we work really hard, and we can't always do that. And I've been lucky that I have been able to. It's precious time that, you know, I'm glad I got to spend. Unfortunately, it's been on the back of, like, you know, a fucking pandemic, you know, and I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys watching the stream are doing good, and that you guys are all safe and healthy, and that your families are safe and healthy. My cousin in the UK, she had coronavirus. For sure she had it. My sister in Florida thinks that she had it, but they didn't have the testing available. But she had the symptoms, and she's a nurse, and she had some equipment at home, and she was able to treat herself after she came back from the doctor, so that she could stay healthy and do well. So, but yeah, you know, But that's kind of what I've been up to. Got my Mag Within says, Panda, thanks for streaming. I can't fall asleep. 1 a.m. here. Well, it's freaking midnight here, dude. So, but yeah, I am glad to be back streaming. I forgot how cool this was. You know, when I first started streaming, I think I had like 3 viewers and like 1 subscriber on my first stream or something like that. And I never thought the channel was going to amount to anything. So the fact that we're even over 1,000 subscribers is really, really cool. And thank you guys for participating and supporting the channel. So, you know, obviously I don't have like, you know, I don't have like a gimmick. I'm not like Dr. Disrespect where I'm actually good at a game and have like a, you know, like a funny gimmick and stuff like that. But, you know, it's chill. So, good to see you guys around. Yeah, school has made me an insomniac. Damn. That's so awesome. Sounds like a great company, too. Yeah, you know, it's a company that a lot of people sleep on that everyone's heard of. I work for a company called Magnolia, which used to be an independent company, but is now owned by Best Buy. So Best Buy is our parent company, and when a lot of other companies were furloughing employees and laying employees off, my company took care of us. And even if I got furloughed tomorrow, the way that they handled this crisis, the opportunities that they gave employees to go home and still get paid and keep themselves and their families safe, and offered resources for medical assistance and all that kind of stuff, it really, really opened up my eyes and really made me proud to work for this company. You know, Best Buy's been unbelievable. I'm glad that I could be part of that organization. So that's good to hear. Hope the baby's okay. She's perfect, man. Honestly, I hate to say it, you know, but she really is. She's been great. Just loving being with her and cuddling with her and being a daddy, you know. But she's been really awesome. I don't know that this helmet makes total sense with with the rest of this outfit. Let's see if we've got something that's a little bit maybe more tactical. This might be the one. Yeah. This one's good. I like it. Alright, let's go to my freighter and get my Explorer. Oh my god, the best dad in No Man's Sky content. Comment, hashtag Big Daddy Panda. Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty rough here in the UK. I'm sure it's probably similar in the US. Yeah, my cousin's in the UK. So I was born in the Cayman Islands. My mom is a Caymanian and my dad is British. And the Cayman Islands is a British protectorate. So People that are born in the Cayman Islands that are Caymanians are by default UK citizens as well, because they're part of the Commonwealth. And obviously, you guys have the national healthcare system in the UK, the NHS, and she was born with a what do you call it? Like a thyroid thing, and so she developed. She's susceptible to weight gain, and she takes medication to keep her thyroid under control. But she developed diabetes when she got older, and she had a leg amputated actually. So she suffered greatly from diabetes. But she ended up catching corona while she was receiving some kidney treatments, dialysis treatments in the United Kingdom. She got corona there. And she had nothing but rave reviews about the NHS and how they were able to take care of her and, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure that their system is getting run ragged right now. But she had it and she beat it, but she said it was hard. And she's somebody who's struggling with diabetes and has, amputations and things like that. So luckily she didn't get like a really bad case of it, but my sister got hit really hard. But, she's in Florida and she's in St. Petersburg, Florida, no less. Which is near Tampa. So, I mean, it's just a big tourist area. And then you got Clearwater, where all those spring breakers were. Like, Clearwater's 20 minutes from St. Pete, you know what I mean? And my sister works in a medical lab, so. But, yeah. So, I mean, shit's real. Shit's crazy. Be safe out there, guys. Wash your hands. If you go out in public, try to, keep your social distancing and all that. I mean, people are suffering, for sure. It's wild out there. The U.S. has the worst cases right now, Big Pidge. Straight up. I mean, it's, 300 and something thousand people have been officially diagnosed with coronavirus. That's the ones that we know about. And on top of that, there's, sadly, I think it's like, at this point, 8,000 to 9,000 people deceased. Or something. It's crazy, man. This whole thing's been wild, and the whole world is suffering, sadly. But yeah, it's a nightmare here in New Jersey. I bet. When's the new backpack coming out? I know, dude. In the appearance modifier, it shows you backpack styles as an option, but there's no other ones right now at all. It looks like a stormtrooper. I didn't think about that, but as soon as I read that, I was like, yeah, I totally get it. We're so lucky to have the NHS right now. I know. I wish we had something similar in our society, our value system. It's just, it's different. Our society really values free market. I think that in a globalist society right now, I think that certain social programs are helpful and effective. But obviously we have a different system here. In this case, which, the system that we have has worked to our benefit for decades and has made us, one of the most powerful countries in the world. But I think in this particular circumstance, it's showing its wear and tear, I would say. But I have full faith that things will improve. We just got to get our leaders to come together. Really, it's the individual states and the governors that have been doing most of the work in their communities right now, and they've been doing considering a pretty damn good job. Those spring breakers are the toilet crust of our society. They can be. I have that same exotic, dude. I love this exotic. Stark Wolf has one too. We have this really great picture of whenever No Man's Sky Beyond first came out. We met up on a planet with our exotics that we got from Atlas Rises. We both had the same one, and we landed together in true multiplayer for the first time ever in No Man's Sky, and took a bunch of screenshots. It was a really terrific and beautiful moment in this game. It was really, really awesome. Of course, the NHS can be limited, of course, and we do have private healthcare too. But like you say, in circumstances, it's a godsend. Yeah. You pay for it, though, right? I mean, you guys are taxed pretty heavily on that, I'd imagine. But yeah, in this scenario, it's great that you guys have it. No one's going to go into financial ruin to go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Oh, what I was going to show you guys was some of my screenshots. I know that's kind of boring, but I think I have the one that Stark and I took in here. It's a really great one. And this is all from the PS4 Pro. My regular PS4, which I kept some of those screenshots, but most of them weren't very good. But that goes all, my old PS4 goes all the way back to the original version of No Man's Sky. I got it at launch in August 2016. So I went too far back. This is old updates. First exotic I ever copped. Just look at the terrain in old versions of No Man's Sky. I mean, they did a really good job even back then. It was fantastic. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is a really good example. Just this sort of jagged, undulating terrain. The game was a little bit more alien back then. The terrain now looks more realistic, for sure. Oh yeah, when I got this ball exotic, I absolutely loved that thing. This is all back in the Atlas Rises days. Oh man, Rider S. This is when the build was finished, it was a complete circle all the way around. But this was a resource farm that Rider S had built that was just phenomenal. Man, this is bringing back some memories right here. Holy cow. I want to see what you guys think about this. So I've decided that I'm not going to build bases. This is the Protogenia. Somebody built this in Atlas Rises. You could actually land in the hands of this like Korvac statue, and the inside was completely modeled. And it was huge. It's freaking awesome. Somebody tried to build cities in No Man's Sky back in the day. I'll tell you what, man. I've been part of this whole thing for a long, long time. Holy shit. I think that was built by Boyd Gaming. If not him, somebody in his crew, for sure. This was Strawberry Sherbet, I think was the name of the planet. This was one that John Hall discovered. It was like the most famous planet in No Man's Sky. Hello Games themselves said that it was the most beautiful planet that anyone had discovered in the entire game. Some pretty cool rock formations here. Man, I've been at this a while. Jesus. I mean, this is... I want to see that backpack in third person, right? I want that to be in the styles option. That is OG right there. I had as you can see, I had a circuit board farm, and that is how I made my first billion in No Man's Sky the old-fashioned way. I did circuit boards, and Hidden, he did, what did he make? Something, it was like fusion igniters or something like that was worth a tremendous amount of money.